Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me fine.
Yeah, hi Mike. All good, thanks.
Hi Rory.
Good morning everyone.
Hi Sharon. Okay.
Sorry, I thought it was morning.
Okay guys, so welcome. And yeah, week 7 we're starting. It's quite amazing that it's really in week 7. Yeah, okay, so let's begin as usual by coming into the space, into your present moment. And we want to do that always by finding a comfortable position, preferably with the spine nice and tall so that we can allow for the breath to flow, for energy to shift in the body. So nice, sitting nice and tall, but not with strain. And also the shoulders need to be nice and relaxed. If you are sitting on a chair, come away from the backrest so that you can sit nice and tall. Make sure your feet are equally grounded on the floor. And then bring your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, a soft gaze is okay. And as you sit there, start to notice the body. Bring your attention to the entire body and whatever experience it's having right now. Any sensations, any tightness, even any aches. Bring your attention to whatever you're noticing. Maybe it's a bit of tingling. And we do this so that we can practice deepening our awareness of whatever is going on within us at any given moment. So there is purpose and there is intention. Notice if your mind is still busy from this morning's activities or thoughts about the rest of the day, rest of the week. Just become aware of what's in your mind at this moment, what's coming in and out. And then say to yourself that you are going to be aware but not get involved. So you're going to try and practice detached awareness of the thoughts. And we help that process by connecting with our breath. As always, we want to breathe through the nostrils. And we want to try and listen out for the sound of our own breath. As we start to slow the breath down a bit. With ease, no forcing, just a little bit longer inhales and slower exhales. And with each breath, try and soften the body. Soften the areas that are still tight. Visualize the breath finding its way to those areas that are still feeling tension. And the breath just acting as a softener. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. And we sigh out the mouth. Let's do another one like that. Deep breath in. And sigh out. In your own time, you can just re-enter the space by flickering your eyes open. Good. Okay. We're going to start with a little check-in, and it's always optional. Just a quick 1-2 sentences about what you are experiencing in the moment. Not necessarily about the program, but just what's going on with you, and remembering that it's okay that if it's not uplifting or positive, we want to practice that authenticity about noticing what it is that we are going through and being able to express it if it feels safe enough to do so. So anyway, I will go, and I remember speaking to you guys last time saying that I had applied for this postgraduate 2-year program through Stellenbosch University. It's a mindfulness-based interventions program, and it is quite sought after, and the criteria, many of which I didn't have. So most of the people that join the course are registered healthcare professionals. I'm a yoga teacher, and I practice mindfulness and teach a bit of mindfulness. So the criteria was a little bit beyond my qualifications in this field, and I said at the time, but I was excited about making application. I had a Zoom interview with the lead lecturer on Wednesday night last week, and I was saying to myself and sharing with you guys last week that if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I was glad that I took the step to apply. Anyway, so I had the interview on the Wednesday, and Thursday they emailed me to say that I was accepted into the program. So I'm quite excited now, and it starts end of July for 2 years, and it's over 4 semesters, and a little bit anxious and excited. So yeah, so that's my news. Apart from other stuff, it's just I'm feeling good about that, and I'm feeling like I have got a lot of deepening of my my own self-awareness will come through that quite a bit, and that's what they've highlighted in the course structure, is that one of the key things is you need to be ready to really be brave in your reflection and sharing of that. So yeah, so thank you guys for the congrats there. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I'm excited about. Okay, so sharing, if you want, just a quick where you're at with this week, or how you're feeling in this moment. And that's like, it is that, it is about that balance of noticing, feeling, and then checking that you don't then, don't be hard on yourself about it. Notice what it is, and the response that comes is the response that comes. If that makes you become a little bit more committed, then that's what it is. But at least you are practicing that awareness of what it is that you're feeling. And I just wanted to say to you guys that obviously that, our lives are all different in terms of our capacity to participate in all the activities. And, but, by the time the program finishes, you would have quite a good sense of the intent behind each phase and why it's structured like it is. So you would have a good feel for the process as a whole, and the content and the worksheets are always, you can use them whenever you want, actually, so even post the program, you can always say, like, there were some interesting things I remember from week 4. Let me go and do those. So there's no reason why you can't try some of the stuff at a later stage. It's a wonderful thing to be able to we don't always get it right, and the more we practice this, the more we can achieve it. But it's a wonderful thing to be at ease, even when the world around us is chaos, and even close, right in our homes and relationships, even if things are really a mess, to be able to find peace and be at ease. It's a wonderful place to be and to be able to get to when you need to. And this is one of the key purposes of practicing mindfulness. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Based on what you guys were feeding back, there's something that I think is quite relevant that I want to share with you, if I can find it, and here it is. So some of you will know, certainly Diana will know, that there was a guy called Carl Jung who followed Freud really in terms of the psychoanalysis foundations and practices and theories. And one of Carl Jung's main concepts and philosophies that still today is shared, his teachings are shared about, is called the shadow concept. And the shadow concept is all about our dark side, our side that's not good, our side that's not perfect, our side that could even be really troublesome, but there's a need to be able to recognize it and not run from it. And so anyway, this is a bit of the concept of the shadow concept from Carl Jung. So Carl Jung is famous for formulating the concept of the shadow, the portion of our personality which through the course of our life is relegated, in other words, pushed down to the darkness of the unconscious. The shadow goes by many familiar names: the disowned self, the lower self, the dark twin, the repressed self, the alter ego. When we come face to face with our darker side, we use metaphors to describe these shadow encounters, like meeting with our demons, wrestling with the devil, descent into the underworld, dark night of the soul, or even midlife crisis. Although the shadow is an innate part of the human being, the vast majority of us are willfully blind regarding its existence. Willfully blind. In other words, we actually know and we choose to be blind to its existence. We hide our negative qualities, not only from others, but from ourselves. To do this, we often criticize and condemn others to ensure our focus does not fall on our own faults and destructive tendencies. Isn't that interesting? We go through life with a false air of moral superiority and a belief that while others act immorally and destructively, we ourselves are wholly virtuous and always in the right. And I'm not saying that we all like that, but there is a tendency to be somewhere there sometimes, right? Unfortunately, there can be no doubt that man is, on the whole, less good than he imagines himself or wants to be. Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and the denser it is. So the more we hide it, suppress it, disown it, turn a blind eye to it, the more it actually is growing, in fact, and is like almost the groundswell of this feeling of our imperfections, our dark side. At all counts, it forms an unconscious snag, thwarting our most well-meant intentions. So it's always going to get to us. It's always going to limit us. It's always going to hold us back, regardless of us trying to disown it. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. It's quite a powerful thing. So when there is something within us deep inside that we don't want people to know, or we don't even want to know ourselves, it will manifest anyway in the outside world. And if you think about it, those examples will present themselves to you in your own experience. In order to avoid being the victim of shadow possession, we must become conscious of our shadow qualities and integrate them into our conscious personality, accepting them with open arms, but as vital parts of our being. Toward this end, it is useful to realize that when the task in life is not to become perfect, but to become whole. So we're not here to become perfect. We're not here to eliminate all perfections. We're here to become whole. In other words, to accept the parts of us, all parts of us. And I really found that profound. We're not here to become perfect. We're here to become whole. And as wholeness entails both good and evil, light and darkness, the achievement of wholeness in personality development requires we assimilate our shadow into consciousness, into our personality. And Carl Jung says this: one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The latter procedure, however, is disagreeable and therefore not as popular. So, yeah, why I thought that was relevant is because we are practicing our self-awareness, and we are starting to perhaps become a little bit more authentic about understanding what we're feeling, and there's judgment and stuff, and so that is good, and the more we do it, the better. The more we go there rather than shy away from our imperfections, our dark side, our secrets. The more we go there, the more we bring it into our consciousness, the more we are going to find the balance, heal from that lifelong process of trying to be always good, which takes a huge amount of strain. So the more we do it, the lighter it becomes, the more in balance it becomes, the more that the dark and light can live together. Okay, so I thought I'd share that with you. It's quite a interesting perspective from Carl Jung. So week 7, guys. So week 7, what we are looking to do now is to hone in on a few aspects of the traits that we recognized and observed in the earlier weeks. All right. So we want to say which of these aspects, traits, behaviors, emotions, thought patterns, well-being contributions do we want to address in some formal way. In other words, we're going to put it on a plan. And in the reflection journal, it asks us to actually write down, these are the few things that we want to address and describe the intention of the plan. So there's a bit of commitment there. I'm going to go, if it's about a past trauma, I'm going to go for trauma counseling. If it's about a skill set that you feel is lacking, like maybe active listening or whatever, then I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to go embark on the intervention. So it's about commitment. And because it is about commitment, I strongly encourage that even if there are, say, 4 or 5 things that are like really niggling you about what you observed about yourself, just pick 1 or 2. Even 1 is fine, because we don't want to go to a place where we actually end up not moving anything because we got too many things we're trying to address. And the way to be comfortable with that is to know that all the aspects that we've observed up to now, everything, even tiny little traits in terms of how we interact with other people, maybe some biases, all of those aspects, even if we don't take them through this next step in terms of a formal plan, we've been working on them and healing from them. So it doesn't mean that if you don't put them on the healing plan, you're not healing from them. Our awareness from the beginning, just deepening our awareness, is a healing process. So many of those aspects that we say, okay, that I'm not going to prioritize those, are already in the process of healing, so we don't need to worry about only picking 1 or 2. So I strongly advise pick 1 or 2, put them on your plan as items that you want to look into. The other aspect around going through a process of prioritization is there could be things that you've identified, and it's really appropriate now, having read that Carl Jung extract, is that there could be stuff there that you're not ready to deal with. You're not ready to, you physically, emotionally not equipped right now to tackle something that could be quite deep and painful. So that is totally fine as well. But to recognize that as the reason why you don't want to do it is a very powerful place to be. When we do that, when we say, I'm not going to try and work on this emotion or this trait, we could go through some normal type of defense mechanisms. We may eliminate things because they are too painful, but we may use reasons like that's not really an issue, or so you denying some of them could be a way of eliminating, and that's understandable. And I think most of us have that tendency when it's something really deep. So try and sit with that for a bit. If you're going through the 4 or 5 things that you've observed, or maybe your list is longer over time, it doesn't really matter. And you're now saying, I want to just take 1 or 2, the ones I think are the most important, take 1 or 2 through. Be comfortable with what you're leaving behind, because you know that the healing still happens, and maybe there's a time when you'll get to those. And also sit with the ones where you are saying it's not really an issue, therefore you're not going to work on it, but deep inside, you know, it actually is an issue. You know, this is going back to that shadow thing. And you don't have to take it forward, but try and be honest and authentic around the reason that you don't want to take it forward. Right there, I'm not ready for this. This is too painful for me. I will know intuitively at some stage when I'm ready. So say those type of things, and that in itself will give you some relief, will give you some healing by being authentic there. So just be aware of reasons for prioritization, and then hone in on the one or two. Okay. And then in the pack, I included a generic list of healing interventions, rituals that is there just for food for thought. It's certainly not an exhaustive list by any means, but it does give you, the list does give you some level of options that perhaps you would not have known before. So on that list is many other things outside of like maybe the traditional counseling and psychotherapy. There's other healing interventions that are really, really worth looking into. And so I've put that healing catalog together simply to give you the sense that there's other stuff there that you can try. And some of it is really interesting. So take, for example, on there is a thing called forest bathing, right? So forest bathing is a Japanese healing intervention. And when I first read about it a few years ago, I realized that I've been forest bathing for years, and forest bathing is really the concept of getting deep into nature and awakening all the senses in that natural environment, feeling the earth, touching it, feeling the trees, or just listening to the sound. So this visualize forest bathing is you lying in the long grass under lots of trees, or in a forest sitting on a log, just being in stillness and hearing and smelling and feeling everything. So awakening all the senses. And so I realized that's what I do. That's what I do for my own healing all the time. So it's interesting to explore these things, and also to realize that a lot of them are very accessible. They are available to us. Some of them don't even cost money, right? So that healing catalog there, just to look at, tweak your interest a bit, maybe go and research a bit some of those and see if they are good for you or something that you want to try. Just trying to think of some others. There's color therapies on there, which is about using the different frequencies of color, the different frequencies. We see color, we perceive color through the eyes, but this is color into the body. And I haven't actually been in a color therapy process, but they use the different frequencies, and it's aligned to the chakras as well, because the different colors represent the different energy centers as well. So the color therapies is one is to look at. And then sound healing is one of my most favorite ones. So if you ever get a chance and in your areas to go and join a sound healing session where they use these singing bowls, these Tibetan singing bowls, and they're different sizes and different tones, and the vibration that you get from sound is tremendously healing. If you've got a lot of emotion or trauma or pain in the body, sound healing is a wonderful thing to try. And I can't wait to get back into one. We haven't had the opportunity with COVID lockdowns and that, because you all lie in a room and the facilitator comes and plays the bowls and brings them over your body if she feels like there's an energy there that needs to be healed. So sound healing is a great one. So again, the list on there is really just food for thought, something to explore. It's not exhaustive, but it just illustrates that there are other interventions out there other than your more traditional counseling and psychotherapy. And it's not to say that those aren't the ones that you need, because counseling and psychotherapy are wonderful practices to participate in, if that's what you need. And I've done so many times on many different occasions, being in counseling, being in therapy. And it's a good process, really good process. So yeah, have a look at that list and see what's there, what tweaks your interest, and maybe just get on Google, explore it a bit, and see if you can come across something in your area that you may want to try. And if you want to engage with me outside of this too, like for some guidance in terms of, well, this is what you're feeling, or this is the type of thing that you're wanting to get relief from, and what would I recommend? That's also fine if you're wanting to do that. So you can make contact with me about that. Okay. So before we get to the Nidra, the meditation, I want to just talk a little bit about last week and find out if there was any feedback around that. And again, it's optional. So it's just really about anything interesting that you found, any challenges you found, how the meditation's been, was there a video that you liked or didn't like? So any feedback is welcome, and again, always optional. So we don't feel obliged to, and also not. It's not, the intention is not to find out how much you're doing. Remember, this process is your own, and you get from it what you want, and there's no pressure. It's finding your way in your own space, your own time. But I welcome any feedback that there may be. And so the mantra for this week, my healing frees my soul and opens my heart, and it is about that, actually. So although that's a mantra, it's a word, and it's there to in the subconscious manifest those outcomes, but it is what we're trying to do, really, is heal, find that the Carl Jung shadow that we spoke about earlier, and befriend it, and bring it to the conscious and heal from it. And then we are moving closer to our true selves, and the joy starts to come from that space that we're clearing from the healing.
Expansiveness. Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Cool. So layers, underneath the fear, the trembling, underneath the trembling is what you is the prize, the peace beneath that. So layers that we start to unravel and discard. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, if there's anybody else, that's fine. Otherwise, we can move into the meditation. Good, guys. Okay, so I hope you saw the on the email and the WhatsApp group the reminder that we are going to do a meditation that requires us to be lying down. And what I've said in addition is to be comfortable. So what we want to do is if you're lying down on the floor, just make sure that you've got something underneath you. Like I've got a yoga mat, but it could just be another type of mat that's comfortable if you don't have a yoga mat. Even put a blanket over that if you want. I use like a folded blanket for under my head, because we don't want a big puffy pillow. We want the neck just to be neutral, and then I use what I have called a bolster, or a long cushion. Excuse me when I show you. So this is what is a yoga bolster, and these I put under my knees. So when we're lying on our backs, I put it under the knees like that, and it's a wonderful bit of support under the knees, and it brings your lower back down towards the mat, so your lower back's not feeling uncomfortable. And warm. I mean, I think, Rory, in your weather it's warm most of the time, but I don't know if you're in air-conditioned building, but be warm. So cover yourself with a blanket, or make sure that you've got a warm jacket on. And then the last instruction is really just about the sound. So if you are able to put earphones in, if you've got your device close to you when you're lying down, that's fine. If not, it's okay. You'll still be able to hear if the sound qualities are right here. I will talk a little bit closer into the microphone so that the quality is better as I do the guided meditation. So I want to just give you like a minute or two to set up, okay, and then I will start. So lying down, get a blanket, get your pillow, get warm, get your earphones ready, and then we will make a start with the meditation. So while you do that, I just want to explain that this meditation is called a yoga nidra, which is like a conscious sleep. And I'll explain a little bit more about what that means in a moment. But it is deeply healing, and you feel like you've rested for a long time, like I had a whole day or two sleep in just 45 minutes. So that's the intention. So get ready, and we'll start in a minute. Okay, hopefully you're all comfortable and warm and ready. It's time now to practice yoga nidra. But before the practice begins, we will prepare ourselves through awareness and breathing. I will let you know when the actual nidra practice starts. At this point, I'll ask you to come up with a sankalpa, or resolve. A sankalpa is a deepest desire, but in the present tense, as though it's already happened. You should be lying on your back with your knees slightly bent and supported. Make sure that you are warm enough and that your position is one that will be comfortable for the duration of the practice. It is best that you remain still during yoga nidra so that both your body and brain have a chance to fully relax. However, if you become uncomfortable, please feel free to change position. Allow your eyes to close and keep them closed until the practice has ended. The practice of yoga nidra is a practice of yogic sleep, a state of consciousness between wakefulness and sleeping. Try to remain awake by listening to the sound of my voice. You will be asked to move your awareness to various bodily sensations, emotions, and images. Try not to concentrate too intensely, as this may prevent you from relaxing. During the meditation, please use and absorb what you need in the moment and leave the rest behind. If the mind becomes overactive with thoughts and worries, just come back to the sound of my voice. Know that you are safe and supported by the earth beneath you. Become aware of any sounds that you can hear in this moment. Nothing else but what you can hear without strain. Begin to focus on the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing radiate outwards, searching out these distant sounds and following them for a few moments. Move your attention from sound to sound without labeling the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds. So sounds directly in the room where you are. Without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls of the room, the ceiling, the floor, your body lying on the floor. Visualize your body lying on the floor, the position of your body, the clothes, your hair, your face. Become acutely aware of your existence, of the physical body lying on the floor. Now become aware of your natural breath, your natural and spontaneous breath that moves in and out of your body without any effort. The natural breath flows in and out both nostrils. Notice the feeling of the breath as it comes in and out of your nostrils. There's a sense of coolness as you inhale. Follow this feeling into your nose, the back of your throat, and into your lungs. There's a sense of warmth as you exhale. Feel this warmth on your upper lip as you breathe out. Allow your breath to become slightly longer and slower now. Take long, slow inhalations, followed by longer, slower exhalations. Slow inhales and slow exhales. The practice of Yoga Nidra begins now. At this point, you should make your sankalpa or resolve. The sankalpa is your deepest heart's desire, as though it has already happened. For example, I am blissfully happy. I am unconditionally loved. The sankalpa should be a short, simple, positive statement in the present tense. Give some thought to a meaningful personal sankalpa now. Please state your sankalpa clearly and with awareness 3 times in your mind. The sankalpa you make during Yoga Nidra plants a seed in the fertile soil of your mind to bring about transformation and healing. And now also say to yourself, I am practicing Yoga Nidra, I am awake, and I am relaxed. We will now begin a systematic journey of sensory awareness throughout the body. You'll move your awareness to different parts of your body as soon as you hear them named. Please say the name of the part to yourself and feel that part, but do not move any parts. The practice begins on the right side. Right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. We now move to the left side, left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. We move to the back of the body, right heel, left heel, right calf, left calf, right thigh, left thigh, right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, the entire spine, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, front part of the body, top of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, middle of the eyebrows, right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, both lips together, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, right groin, left groin, the pelvic floor, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, the whole face, the whole head, the whole torso, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Now begin to concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyelids. Imagine before you a transparent screen as though you were at the movie theater. The screen is as high and as wide as the eye can see. Concentrate on this mind screen and become aware of anything that manifests within it. Images, colors, patterns, light. Whatever you see is the manifesting state of your mind. Continue your awareness of this space, but do not become too involved. Practice detached awareness only. If subtle images make themselves known, simply notice them without directing the images. If thoughts occur, let them come and go, but continue watching the dark space. Continue this with detached awareness. Draw your attention back to your breath now, the natural flow of your breath. Becoming aware of each inhale and each exhale. Slow inhales, slow exhales. Imagine yourself now in a park. It's in the early morning. The sun has not yet arisen, and the park is deserted, except for yourself. It is a safe, beautiful, calm, and peaceful park. Walk across the springy grass. Listen to the birds whistle and call as they welcome in the new day. There are gardens of flowers, roses, yellow, pink, and red. Smell their fragrance and see the early morning dewdrops on their petals. Nearby the rose garden is a fish pond. Fish swim in and out amongst the water lilies. See their graceful movements. You walk on between the trees. Beautiful trees. Some bare trees, some full of leaves. Some wide spreading trees and some tall, stately trees. There's a clearing between the trees, and in the clearing You notice a small temple with an aura of light around it. You go through the door. It is cool and dim inside. On the walls, you notice pictures of great saints. You sit down on the floor, close your eyes and become still. A sense of deep peace and harmony envelops you as the sounds outside fade into distance. Continue your awareness of your meditation inside this temple. Stay there until you feel peace and harmony. When you're ready, you'll find your way back out into the park. And into familiar environment. Maintain your awareness of your breath now again. Do not try and force the breath, just be aware. Maintain this awareness and at the same time start counting your breaths backwards as follows. I am breathing in 54. I am breathing out 54. I am breathing in 53. I'm breathing out 53. I'm breathing in 52. I'm breathing out 52. Continue with your awareness of breath and your counting. Do not worry if you get lost along the way, just pick up from where you left off. And now let go of the counting and let your mind rest again. A number of different things will be named, and you should envisage them in a level of emotion, memory, and imagination as best you can. Jump from image to image as soon as you hear it named. Red desert, burning candle, peacock feather, Egyptian pyramid, doctor's office, torrential rain, full moon, snow-capped mountain, Buddha meditating, birds flying across the sunset, making appointments, stars at night. A warm embrace, waves breaking on a deserted beach, cat stretching, your favorite song, cool, clear water. Foggy morning. Tall tree. Laughing with friends. The restless sea. The sound of my voice. Your body lying on the floor. Your body lying on the floor. Your body lying on the floor. It is time now to repeat your sankalpa. Please repeat the same statement made at the beginning of the practice 3 times mentally now. Come back to the feeling of your breath flowing in and out of your nostrils. Maintain your awareness of breath and at the same time start to develop your awareness of your physical body. Your body is relaxed and lying on the floor. Feel the container of your skin and the clothes and the props that are touching you. Notice the heaviness of your body as it rests on the floor. And take your awareness into all the points that are touching the floor. The backs of your heels, the thighs, the buttocks, shoulder blades, arms, hands, and head. Do not yet open your eyes, but visualize the surrounding room. Imagine where you are in the room and the other objects that are around you. Lie quietly until you are ready to move. Start by slowly moving your hands and your feet, wriggling your toes, rubbing your thumbs over your fingertips. Take your time. And then taking your arms overhead for a nice big body stretch with a deep inhale. Tense all the muscles on the inhale. And side out, letting everything go. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Gently roll over onto your right hand side in the fetal position, using your arm perhaps as a pillow. Take this time just to notice what you are experiencing. Notice the body, the mind. I'm going to read Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart book passage called Make Today a Healing Day. Take time for healing. Take time for what soothes your body, your mind, your soul. Take a bath, light a candle, read a book, take a walk, get a massage, see your favorite healer if you desire, see a movie, buy some flowers, drink a cup of tea. Sometimes we talk ourselves out of doing something healing for ourselves. We're too busy, too tired. But that is when we most need to take care of ourselves. Listen to your heart. What does it want? Listen to your body. What does it need? Trust what you hear. Make today a healing day. Then take some time and make every day a healing day. In your own time, as slowly as you can come up to a seated position. And we can turn on our cameras and mics to say our goodbyes and or to add any last comments before we do. Unless some of you fell asleep, which is also good in a yoga nidra.